All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Okay, guys, so Bitcoin, it has been a little bit of a slow day for Bitcoin and for the altcoins. We're just seeing this slow bleed to the downside from that swing failure pattern of the range highs. So, obviously, over the past month, 2 months or so, we've been looking at this larger range between 94.6 and 80.5K, with really like 84K kind of being the bottom and this being a deviation of that area. But we saw Bitcoin pretty bullish and pump from our point of control through our value area high and grab the liquidity of the range highs. And I did say last week, Thursday and Friday stream, if we break 91K, it is highly likely we come grab the liquidity of the range highs. We've done so, but since then we are seeing a big pullback. And in yesterday's live stream, the key level we were watching was a naked daily point of control at 91,250, where your anchored VWAP was, and it's right around the value area high of your range. We wanted to back test that area and then continue to impulse up, potentially up to that $96,500 macro range point of control. But what we've seen today and what we saw from that bounce yesterday was a lower high, creating some bearish CVD divergences, and then we've dumped now. And today is about to close in about 4 minutes. The daily candle's about to close in 4 minutes, and we would be closing a daily candle back inside of our volume profile, which is not the most bullish thing to see. Now, we still are at support, and we are grinding down slowly. Actually, if we look at this structure here does look more corrective. And if I throw on a parallel channel, not that parallel channel, let me get the small parallel channel, just taking the high, the lower high, and bringing it down to yesterday's low, we are hitting the bottom of the channel right now and seeing a little bit of a bounce. But we do have some levels below us that still have not been taken. So first off, we have our level at $90,800 that we were looking at yesterday as a potential low to be taken, that internal liquidity grab. We did take that today, and we are getting a reaction. You can see that swing failure pattern reaction at the bottom of the channel, and it gave us a nice little push up, at least a scalp move to the upside. But now that we are back below the value area high of our range, we have to be concerned that we could see a bigger retracement to the downside, a bigger retracement that lasts quite a while. And also, if we're looking at this as a series of an impulse, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is the start of your third wave, we're seeing our first four pullback, a fourth wave pullback. And generally in that fourth wave, you'll pull back between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. So if we throw on those targets here, you can see that right now we are coming and hitting the 0.5 Fibonacci at 90,750. Now, just below us, and we did grab the liquidity, guys, so this could be a low. If we're going to continue pushing up here, we really want to see this low hold. But just below us, and a couple days ago, I mentioned we had two naked daily points of control to pay attention to. The best naked daily point of control of support was that 91,250 because it was right on top of your anchored VWAP, and it was right next to your value area high. We really wanted to bounce here yesterday and continue pushing up. But the next naked daily point of control is at about $90,100. You can see on Coinbase, $90,092. So if we do, what we're looking at right now is because we are back inside of our volume profile, we are back underneath the value area high, meaning that this entire move up and breakout above the value area high could have just been a failed auction to grab liquidity of the range highs, and we could see a more significant retracement to the downside. So what I'm watching for now, let me just go ahead and clean this chart up just a little bit. Not that. There we go. And I'm going to hide this box of support. It is still holding overall, but it's not looking too good if we close the daily candle, which we are doing pretty much as we speak. So now that we're back inside the volume profile, if we bounce here, we do have to watch for a rejection. And you can see this is right where the VWAP closed. We just had our daily close just now. It is now a bearish backtest of the value area high in confluence with a bearish backtest of that VWAP close that just happened. And if we do reject from about $91,500, 91,515-ish, then I do think we will continue down, continue this slow, grindy bleed down at least until we hit this naked daily point of control. And once we hit that naked daily point of control, we want to see some bullish momentum come in here. It is not the best look, guys, to be closing a daily candle back underneath the volume profile. I can't stress that enough. We attempted to break out. Let me zoom back out to the 4-hour chart. We attempted a breakout of the volume profile only to grab the liquidity of those range highs, and now we are dumping. We are back inside that volume profile. You can also see we do have a new naked daily point of control that just confirmed this minute at $93,780. So one of the things that I'm going to be watching for, let's actually zoom out to the daily chart here. On the daily chart, you can see that our momentum wave on Market Cipher B and NAMI are both rolling over now, and we did confirm the red dot on NAMI. Money flow also on Market Cipher B is starting to roll over here again. NAMI, the money flow is curving down, but with today's daily close that just happened, you can see it's trying to curve back up here. Closing this big bearish engulfing candle back inside our volume profile is not a good sign to me. And it does tell me that we could see a bigger retracement to the downside. So if we want to remain bullish on Bitcoin, to continue up to take new highs, we really don't want to hit that golden pocket. Let's just pull this same Fibonacci. We do not want to hit the golden pocket that's coming in around $89,800. If we hit that golden pocket, it is going to invalidate this price action being impulsive price action to the upside with continuation likely. And in that case, we would have to reclassify this as a larger 3-wave corrective move where we could drop right back down even to the value area low of our range, where we do know there is a lot of liquidity sitting below all of these higher lows into that $83,600 to $83,800 area of support. So let me go ahead and show you guys on the liquidation heat map. If we look at our Model 3 heat map aggregated with almost all the major exchanges, we do have a lot of liquidity sitting down into that $86,000 area of support. And if we pull our new Fibonacci, our Fibonacci retracement from the lows at $84,400 to our new highs that we just made, and we turn on that 786 Fibonacci, you can see that 786 Fibonacci is coming in around $86,600, and we have the value area low coming in around $85,700. So coming down to hit the 786, or even if we want to pull this all the way down from the 80Ks, yeah, that's a little bit far. Let's look at this new golden pocket here. Yeah, new golden pocket pulled from the range lows to the new range highs. Your golden pocket would be coming in right around that $86,000 mark. So for me, we have a couple really key levels to be paying attention to, support levels, if we are going to dump down here. We have the $86,000 golden pocket value area low. Let's just mark this out real quick here. That's golden pocket value area low. And the $87,500 to $87,900 level is going to be really important. You can see we have a fresh naked daily point of control right at $87,500, but it is also a fresh naked weekly point of control. So let me turn that on. It was a fresh naked weekly point of control, naked daily point of control. It's also a daily level that we have right on top of that. It's our 7-week long range point of control. So a lot of confluence coming in around $87,500. And then we do have that weekly that's coming in around $87,877. So this box of support is going to be a very key box if Bitcoin decides to reject on the bearish backtest of the value area high. If we do come down here, bounce, reject here, hit this golden pocket, we might see a bounce from the golden pocket naked daily point of control, only to see a higher time frame backtest of that value area high and then continue the bearish price action to the downside. We really need Bitcoin to reverse relatively soon if we want to break out to make new highs and come up potentially to $96,000 or $96,500. But taking the liquidity of the range here and now falling back inside your volume profile is not the most bullish thing that we want to see here. I know that a lot of the altcoins look very bullish, like they're in double 1-2 impulses. But if Bitcoin does start to dump, it could invalidate a lot of the bullish sentiment in the market, in the entire crypto market, not only for Bitcoin, but for a lot of the altcoins. So right now, slow price action. This move down was to be expected after we grabbed the liquidity of the range highs. We were looking for one of two things. We were looking for the bounce of the value area high on the bullish backtest to make new highs, or we were looking for falling back inside your volume profile. And if you do fall back inside your volume profile, start to close daily candles back inside that volume profile, we could see a much larger dump to the downside and pretty much a continuation of this range, potentially coming down to the bottom of the range as well, around $86,000, where we do have a lot of liquidity. Now, if you guys remember last week, I was talking about how it was highly unlikely that we're going to see a major resolution of this range before that liquidity was grabbed at $86,300, these $86,300 lows into your value area low that's coming in around 85,800, right where that new golden pocket is. So that is something that I definitely will be watching for. If we are going to start seeing some more bearish price action, we could slowly grind our way down to the value area low, continue to just work your way down and continue to see this prolonged range where, if you remember on yesterday's live stream when we covered Bitcoin, I was talking about how we could see this range continue a lot longer than people are comfortable with, even for another month or so. So we trade what the market gives us. Right now, we are still in range trading mode. We know to look for shorts near the highs of the range or near important volume resistances of the range. We know to look for longs near supports, volume supports of the range, or important liquidity grabs of the range. And that is what I'll be paying attention to. Until then, we just be patient. We can look at some of the altcoins. We can look at Bitcoin dominance. But guys, not only did Bitcoin SFP the range highs, but we also had the total market cap SFP the range highs. And the total market cap right now, you can see it's coming down to backtest the value area high. So if the total market cap can hold on this bullish backtest of the value area high, let me just throw on, there's the SFP of the range highs. And now we're in the process of what Bitcoin did yesterday, the backtest of the value area high. We really want to see this hold here. And if it does hold, we might be able to work our way up to this golden pocket or even up to our pitchfork band above us. And the reason, if we talked about this yesterday, let me hide this range real quick. But I'm just looking for more choppy price action between the bottom of the pitchfork and the lower band of the pitchfork. Let me just hide this as well. Chopping between this general area is still possible for quite a while for me, and a continuation of this range, this upwards and sideways range. Not a lot to update on, though, with Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin, like I said in yesterday's live stream, Bitcoin has lost its key bullish trend structure. Like, this is the pitchfork, or we can look at that Fibonacci channel. Either way, the levels are pretty much the same. We had the bearish backtest of the pitchfork. We had the bearish backtest of the Fibonacci channel. And since then, we've been forming this range. Now, in this range, to me, it looks still more corrective. This range looks like a corrective range where even if we take out the highs and come a little bit higher, I do expect us to continue the push down to break the lows at 80.5K and potentially come all the way down to grab our lows at $74,500. We do have to remember the higher time frames are still very bearish. If we zoom out onto the monthly time frame, on the monthly time frame, we still do have confirmed bearish divergences on the chart. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves, and bear divs NAMI as well. Money flow bear divs on NAMI as well. So we have the money flow, the really prime setup we look for with NAMI and Market Cipher B. If we zoom out to the weekly chart, or zoom into the weekly chart, I should say, we do have confirmed bear divs, higher highs throughout all of 2025 and 2024's all-time high. lower highs in the momentum waves, and overall, our money flow is still draining out of the asset on the weekly time frame, about to cross into the red on the weekly time frame. Now, I know we did get the green dot on the weekly time frame, and historically, this green dot has given us a few weeks of relief. When we get a green dot on the weekly time frame, we generally get a few weeks of relief here. But I still do think the overall bearish scenario with the higher time frame confirmed bear divs on the chart, we still do have a higher likelihood of this entire range that we've been seeing is a corrective range before dumping to the downside and taking out our 80K lows. So if we look at, let's just do a little experiment here real quick. Let's grab that bars pattern and let's look at a fractal. We can get this fractal of the few weeks of upwards price action that we saw, and we could throw it over here on our current price action. Let me just go ahead and extend this, and you can see it's very, very similar. A few weeks of upwards and sideways price action before ultimately what happened, we dumped back down. So let's actually grab that fractal. The last time we saw a green weekly dot on the chart, grab this. Let's just shrink this up a little bit, throw it on the chart. And you can see, what did we see the last time? Pretty much coming up, taking out the range highs, seeing a few weeks of green and upwards momentum with some red mixed in there before dumping down and taking out the lows. And to me, this is still the highest probability. So yes, locally, could we come a little bit higher? Absolutely. I think it's actually probable that we come a little bit higher. But overall, I do think that we still are going to eventually take the lows at 80.5K. Until then, we trade the range. We trade the range until it breaks. Now, I talked about this in yesterday's live stream, and the reason why I think we could come a little bit higher locally, let me go ahead and get rid of this swing failure pattern. We can turn on our macro range, and this is the macro range for all of 2025's price action for Bitcoin. And you can see on the daily time frame, we had no daily candle closes below the value area low of this range. We had a bit of a wick down below when we came down to 80.5K. After our first rejection of the pitchfork or the Fibonacci channel, we back tested that value area low. We held it, so we came up and made new highs. We took the liquidity of the prior highs. We had another rejection, a higher low. We took the liquidity of highs again, and then we had that third tap rejection where we came down. We back tested the value area low again perfectly, and after chopping around during the holiday week for a bit while there was slow price action, no one was trading towards the end of the year, we have now been able to push up and push up to break the value area high of this smaller 7-week range. So I do think if we can hold some relatively close support, we can work our way up to that point of control. Because as far as market auction theory goes, and as far as volume profile trading goes, if you can come down and hold the value area low of the range, which so far we are holding our macro value area low, we've tested it 1, 2, 3 times on higher time frames, holding it, then we can make an attempt to break up to that point of control, which is considered fair value for Bitcoin. Over the past year, $96,600 is about considered fair value for Bitcoin. So if we do come up to $96,600, that could be an area where, if the bearish sentiment overall is still in charge, we could see a sell-off at fair value to break down to make new lows. And so for me, $96,500 to about $98,000, $98,500 is where I'm really going to be watching for rejection of the Bitcoin price action for possible swing shorts to bring down to 78K or 74K. But I just wanted to warn you guys, the last time we did see a big weekly green dot, let's zoom out. Let's throw that fractal on the chart one more time. And with that fractal that was on the chart on the weekly time frame, we'll throw that on the chart. Yeah, like something like that there. And you can see, let's now zoom into the daily time frame. And on that daily time frame, you can see that after kind of coming up and taking out your range highs, we did see and possibly testing the value area high, or excuse me, the point of control. We could see that drop down to take new lows. And it would be a rhyme of what happened the last time we saw a big weekly green dot. But that's about it for Bitcoin, guys. The liquidity is below $86,000. If we do zoom in and look at the past 3 days of price action, we do have some liquidity to the upside. Obviously, with that swing failure pattern, we're going to have some liquidity above those highs. The next big level of liquidity, let's see here. Let me go to our Model 2. Yeah, and the next big level of liquidity that's close by is still below us. We do have some liquidity that is going to be, well, first of all, $88,000, but right below today's lows that just were created, we do have some liquidity in there. And then you can see there's a little bit of liquidity above the swing failure pattern from a few days ago. If we zoom out and look at the past month of price action, yeah, not much around us. 3 months. Wow. And then in the bullish scenario, guys, the bullish scenario meaning that we can break back above this point of control, flip it to support, and flip our 50-week moving average to support. The next big level of liquidity is at 110K, where our golden pocket and value area high is resting. If you look here, about 108 to 110K is where our next big level of liquidity is resting on more macro timeframes. Okay, but that's about it for Bitcoin. There's not a lot to cover. Our order flow here, we were seeing some bearish CVD divergences earlier in the day. Let's see, where was that? Right here. As after our push up from yesterday, you can see we had our push up and then we dropped again. We made a lower high here and then dropped down. But between these two highs, we had lower highs in the price action and we had higher highs in the CVD, creating those bearish CVD absorption. It was actually absorption because our open interest was increasing steadily. So we had bearish CVD absorption. We saw another pretty decent drop. And then since then, we've been seeing continued local bearish absorption, just continuing the grind down. Overall, I will say, if we look at this open interest in this drop that we've seen today, most of today and some of yesterday, we do have new positions opening up. A majority of those positions are short positions. Sure, we have some longs mixed in there, and then those longs get trapped underwater and get flushed out. And then we have some new short positions come in here. New short positions coming in. So we do have some shorters that are successfully pushing the price down. And now that we've taken the liquidity of the 90.8K lows, we did take that liquidity. We saw some people get stopped out, and we are seeing a little bit of a rise here. But what I would say about this, guys, overall, is I am now watching for the bearish backtest of our 7-week long range value area high. So let me go ahead and turn that on. We'll turn off our macro range. We'll turn on this, not this range here, this guy here. And if we do backtest, which we might see during this video, it's actually kind of happening right now. You can see we're coming up to backtest that value area high and that VWAP close. And if we do reject here, I expect new lows to come in on the charts. At least coming down to that naked daily point of control at $90,100 below us. Okay, that's it for Bitcoin. Quickly, before we move on to the altcoins, I want to talk about the partners of the channel. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description below, you can get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts on trading fees if you deposit some of the larger amounts into the exchange. They're also offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you move in the futures markets. And they're offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. So, for instance, if you deposit $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus, which is the highest of any exchange I've seen on a $100 deposit. And then various 20% and 10% deposit bonuses. You can see all that here. Also, I partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community where I do post trade setups in that community. I do post my thoughts on the market throughout the day in the community. And you can go into the general chat and tag me, ask me questions about Bitcoin or altcoins or just the market in general. So if you're interested in joining that Telegram community, it is free. All you need to do to enter that private community is join BYDFI with my affiliate link and then deposit $100 into the exchange. That $100 is your money to trade with. You will get the 20% discounts on trading fees. And if you KYC, you can get the 50% deposit bonus as well. Now, once you've done that, there's a Telegram link in the description of this video. Click that Telegram link. Once you're in the Telegram, type in /verify in your user ID, which will be right up here. And that'll get you into the Telegram. And once you are in, you are in. It's free from there. So if you guys are interested, link is in the description for the Telegram. Remember, /verify in your user ID. The next partner of the channel is NAMI Trading. And NAMI is this momentum and money flow indicator down here. I use it for all my confirmations on my trades. Like as we were coming up to swing fail pattern, the range highs, we did see confirmed bear divs on the chart. And that is confirmation to look for a short, at least to look for an entry position. So for me, I use it for my entry and exits on trades. I also use it to stay out of bad trades. It's been an invaluable tool to help increase my profits in trading and know when to take trades and when not to. If you're interested in purchasing NAMI, they have partnered with the channel to give you guys a 50% off discount code. So Divine50 is the discount code. The link to purchase NAMI and the discount code are both in the description of this video. And then lastly, we have Bybit and MEXC, two other great exchanges that I'm partnered with, both offering some perks if you do sign up using my affiliate link. Bybit's offering up to $30,000 in futures trading bonuses, and MEXC's offering a 10% initial deposit bonus up to a certain amount. So links are in the description. It's a good way to help the channel. It's a way to say thank you. Also, guys, please hit the like button. If you get any sort of insight into the market from this video today, please hit the like button for me. Please share the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's go on to Ethereum. Ethereum here is a bit concerning as well, because what we're looking for on Ethereum is, of course, we had our resistance here at around $3,200. If we take our golden pocket pulled from the range highs to our lows that were created after those highs, you can see our golden pocket value area high was coming in around 32.10 to 32.31. Now we did break above that, but we rejected from our anchored VWAP again. And this anchored VWAP rejection, seeing the anchored VWAP reject us again, last time we kind of hit into that anchored VWAP, tried to break above it, couldn't. We saw a pretty big drop to the downside. Hit the anchored VWAP, rejected, and now we have fallen with some increasing volume and some imbalance candles back inside our volume profile. Very concerning to see this fall back inside the volume profile and the daily close back inside the volume profile. Now, just like Bitcoin, we could be looking at this move here as a 1, 2, 3, and we could be looking for a fourth wave pullback before breaking up again to make new highs in a fifth wave. And if we're looking at that, we can pull our Fibonacci retracement from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3 and look between the 0.382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. Well, that 0.5 Fibonacci is coming in right around $3,100. Let's see. Did we have that naked daily? Let me change this to the daily. Okay, no naked dailies down there. For some reason, I keep thinking there's a naked daily point of control down there. No naked daily points of control down there. Let's double check to see if there is a daily level. No daily levels either. No weekly levels. Okay, so honestly, guys, there's not a lot of support below us until we get down. And that 0.5 Fibonacci is really the only thing that's kind of down in that area. The liquidity below around 30.75. We might wick a little bit past that 0.5 to grab this liquidity. But there is not a lot that is keeping us held up. If we zoom out to the 4-hour time frame, there is not a lot of structure in here that is keeping us held up. I guess we do have kind of this order block in here that is around the 0.5 Fibonacci, but if we start to lose the 0.5 Fibonacci, I do think we are going to fall all the way down to our point of control of our range, which is coming in around 29.75. We do have a plethora of support down there. If we look at our daily levels, we have a daily level that's right in confluence with that point of control. And then we also have a naked daily point of control that's also in confluence with that. So this would be the next big area of support, really between 29.75 and 29.66. But even if we bounce from there, I would be expecting a lower high, maybe potentially rejecting from that value area high before creating a lower low. Because if we do retrace down this far, it would invalidate this as a 5-wave impulse. And we would have to look at it now as a 3-wave corrective move before potentially coming down and grabbing some lows, coming down to the bottom of our range, which you can see has some support as well. Your value area low at 29.10. You also have at 2900 or 2902 a daily level in there. And then we could pull our golden pocket from our last major lows to our highs. Yeah, your golden pocket's also going to be at that POC. So a lot of confluence for support around 29.75. That would be the next big area I would be looking for long, is at 29.75. But just like Bitcoin, we're range trading. We attempted to break out of the range. We rejected from resistance above, and now we've fallen back inside of our range. Depending on what happens at that 0.5 Fibonacci, around $3,100, if we can't hold that, then I do suggest that we're going to come all the way down to our point of control and then possibly even lower. And possibly even sweep all the liquidity of the range lows now that we Ethereum didn't take out the liquidity of the range highs like Bitcoin did, but that's what I would be expecting. So we got some levels to watch. We got some pay attention to the confluences of support. Now I understand this is in the middle of the range and you don't really have an edge to buy at fair value, but I'm talking more in terms of scalp to day trading, long positions. If we come down here, we could look for a scalp to day trade long, even to bring up to back test that value area high. Okay, new naked daily points of controls from the daily that just closed today. Go ahead and turn that on. Yeah, we closed right at our naked daily point of control. So no new naked dailies on Ethereum. That's about it for Ethereum, guys. Not a lot to cover. So we'll move on to the next altcoin here. Moving on to Solana. Now, guys, in yesterday's live stream on Solana, we were looking at, let me zoom into the 15-minute chart here. Many of you were live with me while I said, if we come up to this 786 Fibonacci at 141.86, I am looking to short this. And I did short this. I told you guys the first take profit was going to be this naked daily point of control at 135.4. Well, we have now successfully hit our first take profit level on that short. And I'm actually looking for my TP2 to be around $132, $132 to $131. The reason why I was looking for a short on Solana is, let's zoom out to the daily time frame here. Actually, we'll zoom out to the 4-hour time frame. Once again, we're looking for that impulsive price action, looking kind of at a double 1-2 impulse, a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 1, a wave 2. This is all part of your third wave here. And if we're looking at that double 1-2 impulse, where was the rejection area for your third wave? At the value area high of your range, in confluence with your 2-year-long range point of control, and it was also your 1.618 Fibonacci extinction. We just throw on perfectly tapping at $143, that 1.618 Fibonacci extinction. That is a common target for a third wave to end, a very common target. So after tapping that, we saw a bearish break in market structure. I covered this in depth on yesterday's live stream. If for those of you guys that weren't here, I can cover this a little bit for you. Let me just pull these volume profiles all the way. All right, what we were looking at was we tapped the 1.618 Fibonacci extinction perfectly, and then we saw a pretty aggressive drop. We dropped down and we broke market structure bearishly by breaking these lows here. We had a bearish break in market structure by breaking our local lows. Because we broke our local lows, now it is more likely, not guaranteed, but more likely that we're going to make a lower high before making another lower low below yesterday's lows. So what was I looking for? I was looking at really that 786 Fibonacci because it was in alignment with our pitchfork level. And I think I messed this pitchfork up. I dragged this pitchfork. We'll have to attach this pitchfork. But if you go watch yesterday's video, that 0.7 Fibonacci, right where we shorted from at 141.86, was the area to look for a lower high before creating a lower low. I still am in this short, by the way, guys. I took 50% profit at the naked daily point of control. The next level, like I said, is going to be this next green box of support between like 132.5 and 131. But because we did break market structure bearishly and then created a lower high, now we can look for a lower low. And we finally made a lower low by taking out yesterday's lows. Overall, let me just go ahead and hide this for a second, and we'll hide this for a second. Zooming out to the higher time frames on the 4-hour, we are rejecting the value area high of our range. This is our range that we've been in for 7 or 8 weeks. And because we're rejecting the value area high and our pitchfork band, I am expecting a drop down to the point of control to backtest that point of control. You can see once we broke out the point of control, we never really came for a backtest. We saw some front runs of the backtest. So now after rejecting from value area high, we would expect to backtest that point of control. If it holds, sure, we could probably come up and make some new highs here. Let's pull our Fibonacci retracements from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3. And we'll turn on those wave 4 targets. You can see that our 0.5 Fibonacci is in confluence with our box of support. That is what we want to come down and bounce from the 382 to the 0.5. If we're going to remain in a bullish impulse, a wave 1, wave 2, internal wave 1, or a secondary wave 1, secondary wave 2, and then you push up in your wave 3. Now we look for 2, 4, 5s. So your first 4 retraces between the 382 and the 0.5. Right now we're bouncing a little bit from the 382, but I would like to personally come a little bit lower to hit that 0.5 where our bigger support level is. That would be our first wave 4. Then we would expect a new highs in a wave 5, and then another internal wave 4 or secondary wave 4 before seeing a secondary wave 5. And like I said in yesterday's live stream, I would like to take the liquidity of the range highs with this overall impulse to the upside. So I am still bullish overall on Solana to make new highs within this range, but I am short locally in a scalp short looking to come down to about 132 to 131. Now, when will this impulse, this double 1-2 impulse be invalidated? Well, it's when we hit our golden pocket that comes in at 130.3. So we really don't want to come down there and hit that. You can see we have a nice 4-hour order block in here as well. This order block right here is at support of our POC. So a lot of confluence of support in this box. This box here, it is going to be our 0.5 fib. It is going to be the large range POC, the 7-week long range POC. Naked daily point of control. Order block, 4-hour order block, and I believe there was a daily level in there. Let's see. No daily levels. Yeah, but we have a lot of confluence in this area. Naked daily point of control, range point of control, 0.5, and the order block all within there. And the liquidity grab, excuse me. Yeah, that was the other thing. Liquidity grab of these equal lows here into that area as well. Now, once we get down here, we do want to see bullish divergences on the lower time frames. You can see we're grinding down in this wavy structure, a low, a higher low, a new low, a higher low, a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. If we continue to grind down in this wavy structure, we want to be looking for bull divs within the structure. So we want to be looking for lower lows on the price action, and we're going to want to look for 15-minute and under bull divs. Lower lows in the price action, and we want to see higher lows coming in on the momentum waves with our money flow overall kind of still coming to the upside. So far, not a lot of bull divs. We did see one drive that played out. We saw another drive that played out, and we could see a new drive of bull divs if we come down there. I suspect we're probably going to see a couple more. We want to see 2 to 3 drives of bull div on low time frames as we're working our way into that area. If we lose that support around 132, then I think we're going to see a sweep of a lot of this liquidity, a lot of this push up that we've seen over this past week. I think it's all going to go away, really. We're going to sweep it and potentially come all the way back down to that 122 level that we were looking at. If we turn on our naked weekly points of controls, coming into your value area low of your larger range at 122, we have a naked weekly point of control. We have a daily level that's coming in right into that general area. We have a couple dailies in here, 123, 124, 122, and your value area low is going to be in there of your macro range. And then if we pull our golden pocket from our last big lows to our highs. Let me turn off our dailies for a second. And okay, so actually this level of support before 122 is enticing. We do have our golden pocket at our 7-week long range value area low. So that would be an area that I would be looking for some sort of bounce, at least a scalp long opportunity. Golden pocket value area low at 127 to 126. Really, 127 is the area because that's where your value area low is. And then let's look at our naked dailies. Yeah, I mean, for Solana, guys, there's a lot of support between like 127 and 122. If we turn on our dailies again, you can see that naked daily point of control and that daily level at 124 are like 124 and a half, let's say, are very close to each other. And then if we look at this this Fibonacci retrace and we turn on our 786, 786 at 122, naked weekly point of control at 122, value area low at 122, a daily level at 122. So a lot of support levels for Solana. These are the 3 support levels below. Let me now turn off everything, clean up the chart. So this is going to be and then we have that liquidity that's resting into this value area low as well. That's your 3 big levels. First 132, 133, 127, and then 123 to 122. But overall, on Solana, we are just continuing to range, guys, within our horizontal range. Between our larger horizontal, excuse me, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second there. We are ranging between the point of control of our macro range and the value area low of our macro range. And if you watched yesterday's live stream, I said it's highly likely that this could be an accumulation range that takes a couple more months to really play out. If we're going to see this kind of be a left shoulder ahead, we come up here, maybe make one more high into here, taking out the range highs, and then see a drop down. We could see that like tap 1 here, tap 2 here, tap 3 here, creating that overall accumulation range at our macro value area low, and then hopefully break out and see some expansion to the upside. But that's about it for Solana. Above us, the only resistance that I'm interested in above us. Now, well, let me say this. If we bounce from where we're at right now, I would expect us to come up and make a lower high. No, this could be it. This could be it, actually. We can see a very nice, if we go on to the 15-minute chart here, I can just see this with my eyes right now, a very nice descending channel in here. Little descending channel on the 15-minute that we're just trading. So mostly like bot trading is happening now, low volume bot trading, but we're just grinding down. I want to see some bull divs coming into this support level at 133 to 132. That's it for Solana. Let's move on to Sui. Sui, guys, this is a little bit concerning for Sui. Sui did reject overall from that 382 Fibonacci. Now, on Sui, let me zoom out to the daily quickly here. I talked about this on Thursday's live stream and Friday's live stream quite a bit, but from these highs here, you can see we have this kind of descending channel here, and we're looking at a larger A wave and an impulse, a B wave and a correction, and a C wave down for a larger corrective move of this big impulse here. Now, on that corrective move, we came down within our C wave, so within this push down here. I've been looking at a multiple 1-2 impulse, so you can see a wave 1, wave 2, secondary wave 1, secondary wave 2, trinary wave 1, trinary wave 2. So we have our 1-2s in here. We had our big third wave down here, and your fourth wave now is going to retrace between the 382 Fibonacci and the 0.5 Fibonacci of your wave 3. So we just came up and hit the 382, and we are seeing a rejection from that 382 Fibonacci. And upon that rejection, we might be able to come all the way back down to back test this pitchfork band before continuing up to the 0.5 Fibonacci, where overall at 220 is the really nice short level between 220 and 227. Very, very nice. We have a liquidity grab into your pitchfork midline, and it's the back test of our bigger range value area low of this upper price action here. So I want to see us continue to push up, just like we're seeing a multiple 1-2 impulse on the higher time frames. Well, if we zoom in on the lower time frames here, we are seeing a double 1-2, a wave 1, wave 2, internal wave 1, internal wave 2. We are in our third wave, so it looks like our third wave ended. So now we can zoom into the 4-hour chart and concentrate on the impulse up here. And I did make a short video about this over the weekend, I think it was. But from this low here, you can see we do have some nice wave 1, wave 2, secondary wave 1, secondary wave 2, our big push up in our third wave. So now we're going to be looking for a pullback in a wave 4 before creating another wave 5, before creating another wave 4, before creating another wave 5. Ultimately looking for this impulse to end around 220. And if we look now, just get rid of this for a second. From the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3, and we turn on our wave 4 targets, your wave 4 targets are going to be between 177 and 170. Coming down to backtest 170 or even, like 172 would be really nice, because that's where that pitchfork band is coming in. And let's turn on our naked daily points of control here. You do have that naked daily point of control below as well. Of course, we did reject at a naked daily point of control at 202. So we wicked past the 382 to hit that naked daily point of control at 202 or $2, and we did reject. So now let me throw this on right here. So the next big level I would be watching would be in this general area of support between 172 and 168 for a potential bounce. I have to say, so far, this move does look corrective. So far, it does look like a nice 3-wave corrective move down. And if we take our trend-based Fibonacci extinction and we look at the targets for that move between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236, you can see that 1.236 is coming in right at the pitchfork retest of the pitchfork band. So yeah, this box is the next box of support that I'd be interested in looking for potential long. We are hitting a local golden pocket right now. If we just pull our golden pocket from the last lows to the highs, hitting a little bit of a golden pocket, seeing a little bit of a reaction here from our golden pocket. But I don't think we're quite done dumping, especially if Bitcoin continues to roll down a bit. I think the altcoins will roll down a bit. Overall, though, from these lows at 133, I'm looking to come up to around 220. Okay, that's it for SUI. Going on to Say, very similar with Say, we're looking for. And by the way, when we broke out of this pitchfork band, I said it was likely we were going to move up to this golden pocket. Say, very similar, impulsive move up. So we grab the liquidity of the lows here, and then a wave 1, wave 2, internal wave 1, internal wave 2. Big push up in your third wave. So now we're looking for some 4 or 5s to come in here. We actually pushed past the 1.618. And we are seeing our first decent pullback from that golden pocket. That golden pocket was pulled from this high to this low. Hit the golden pocket, rejected that golden pocket. Now we're coming in for the back test of the pitchfork band. If we can hold the pitchfork band back test right around 12.3, we might be able to continue up to make new highs. We can also pull that trend base or Fibonacci retracement from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3. Turn on our wave 4 targets, and you can see your wave 4 targets right, 12.3, 12.275 just below us, and grabbing that liquidity into that area. This liquidity grab at 12.256. So I would like to come a little bit lower here on Say for our first wave 4. Wave 4, wave 5, and then another wave 4 and another wave 5. Potentially even coming up to take out these highs and these range highs into our next big resistance area at like 15.6. That is also going to be the back test of our macro value area low. Of this price action that broke down. This sideways range that broke down. So if we come up and back test this area and reject, I would expect us to continue down. Maybe making a double bottom in here. But this double 1-2 impulse, I think, is unlikely to be completed. So I do think we got a little bit higher to go. And right now we're working on flipping the pitchfork band to support. Broke above it. If we back test it here and it holds, I expect new highs locally. All right, that's it for Say. Moving on to XRP. XRP here, we are seeing a breakout of our channel. Now, this channel we were looking at, let me hide this range for a second. It was pulled after the crash. So we had a giant crash here on October 10th, and then we made a dead cat bounce. So pulling it, the descending channel is pulled from this high to your lower high to your first big initial low. And we've been following this channel, grinding sideways and down within this channel. We came down. By the way, we were looking for the Coinbase liquidity grab of the crash lows. And I told you guys this was a long level. If you go watch the video that I created the day that happened, I said, this is a long opportunity. I'm longing this. This is a long opportunity. And we have had a nice impulsive price action. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Now we're pulling back in a wave 4 here. We hit the value area high of that range. So if you pull a volume profile of all the price action that happened after the crash, let's grab that volume profile. Let's throw it back on the chart here, not this guy. You can see we're rejecting the value area high. Also, if we pull a Fibonacci from the highs of this range to the lows of this range, we turn on our golden pocket. It is also our golden pocket. So we're rejecting a very strong resistance being the golden pocket value area high of the range. We broke out of the channel though, and we broke out of the channel with force. So now after a break out of the channel, you expect to come up to your next major resistance. We did. We rejected from that resistance. Now we're looking for a pullback to backtest that channel. If it holds, we would expect to continue pushing up higher here. So we're at the backtest of the channel now. You can see it on the daily time frame. We're at the backtest of the channel now. And if we zoom in onto the 2-hour time frame, you can see coming down, actually hitting the channel as we speak here. But if we pull our Fibonacci retracement from, once again, from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3, we turn on our wave 4 targets. We are coming into that zone between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. Let's check out some naked daily points of controls to see if we have any within this zone. And sure enough, we do have a naked daily point of control just below us. It hasn't quite been tapped yet, just below us. And that is also at the bullish backtest of the channel. So I would be looking to just grind a little bit lower. We don't necessarily have to come down to hit the 0.5 Fibonacci. The zone is between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. But seeing the backtest of our channel breakout, the bullish backtest, and our naked daily point of control here, I would expect some sort of bounce from this area that we're at right now, about 2.14, let's say, 2.14-ish. And that's also your kind of your prior highs. A little bit of consolidation in that area. And then we would expect to break out to take out your highs from a couple days ago. So potential long opportunity actually happening right now. Let's see if we have some bull divs on low time frames. Let's go to the 12-minute chart. No real bull divs here. Go to the 15. Yeah, we do have some bull divs on the chart. Money flows bottoming out. And we have bull divs on NAMI and money flow curving to the upside. So potential support, actually potential scalp long opportunity coming in now here. I would like to actually hit that naked daily point of control below us. We have not hit it yet. So maybe continuation, but this definitely looks more corrective as well. The grind down that we've been seeing all day. If we can just roll over one more time, hit that naked daily, hit the channel again, potential long opportunity from that area. And it would also give us some time to create some more bull divs. Yeah, very interesting bull divs here. We're seeing a nice push from that touch of the channel right now. I'll try to get this video out, so hopefully this long opportunity is still relevant. I'd be at least looking to take out those highs. My stop would probably go below those lows here into the 0.5. That's still an 8.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio just to take out your highs from Monday, a couple Mondays ago. No, January 5th. Yeah, just a couple days ago. Okay, that is it for XRP. Not quite actually. So levels above us, we do have our next big level of resistance that's coming in around 277 to 284. And that is going to be your more macro golden pocket. We have some liquidity from the highs of the channel into that golden pocket. And we also have a 786 Fibonacci in there, a smaller 786 Fibonacci pulled from these highs. And then a naked daily point of control, a naked weekly point of control, a daily level, and a monthly level, all within this area of 277 to 284. So very big resistance above us. That is quite a ways away, though. So I would, and remember, when we break out of a channel, guys, I talk about this a lot on the live streams. But when you break out of a bigger a channel like this, you'll often come up and wrong thing. You'll often sweep the liquidity of at least the second pivot of that channel. So that's these highs here. So at the very least, if we can hold the bullish back test of the channel that we're seeing right now, I would expect to come up to 258 to SFP those highs. And see this wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, a wave 5, potentially sweeping those highs, and then seeing a bigger drop here, maybe to come up. We'll have to see how this plays out over the next couple weeks here. But overall, we're still just range bound. So play the range until it breaks. We just rejected the value area high of the range and the golden pocket of the range. If we fall back inside of our channel, it is likely that we could come down all the way to the channel midline, which would be in confluence with that POC. We do have a lot of support before then. Oops. Wow. I've got to get rid of a lot of these daily levels. But you can see we have that fresh weekly level that's going to be coming in right at that point of control. So that would be the next big support area for me. Channel midline, weekly level, range point of control. And let's see, is there a naked daily point of control there? Yeah, a little bit below it. Naked daily point of control. Naked weekly point of control is on top of that weekly. So definitely our area of support. 187 to 186. That is in the scenario that we fall back inside the channel and invalidate this impulse. Because if we do fall this far, it would invalidate. We'd have to look at this as a 3-wave corrective move. And now we're going to see some pretty aggressive price action to the downside. And even from this area, I'd be looking for a lower high before potentially sweeping the lows again. That's it for XRP. Let's move on to Chainlink. Lastly, Chainlink. Chainlink did come up to our large range point of control. Now, remember, guys, a couple live, I think it was Tuesday's live stream. We were coming up. Yeah, it was Tuesday's live stream. We were hitting that point of control as we were live. And we were saying this is the area, this is resistance here. The point of control is resistance. We were looking potentially to come up a little bit higher and take the liquidity of these internal highs into your 786 just above, but we were at resistance and we did reject our large range point of control. So first off, let me hide this 7-week, 8-week long range. Very similar to Solana. On Chainlink, we're in a range that has lasted us 2 years. All of this upper price action in here. You can see the range starts in November of 2023. So over 2 years long. But we fell all the way back down to our value area low. We bounced. We're ranging between the point of control and our value area low. Now, in a bullish scenario, we're going to see accumulation happen here, and it could last a couple more months. We could range between the point of control and the value area low, or at least for another couple weeks here, creating an accumulation range in here before seeing expansion to the upside, potentially coming up to your value area high. But for now, we're trading the range that is in front of us. And the range that is in front of us is between the point of control and the value area low. It's also the bearish backtest of our pitchfork that we lost. We lost the pitchfork, backtested it, rejected, backtested it, rejected. And we did come up to that point of control, reject that point of control. Now it's shifted up over the past day or two, right up to that where that 786 is. But we're looking very similarly on a lot of the altcoins for a double 1-2 impulse, a wave 1, wave 2, secondary wave 1, secondary wave 2. We're pushing up in a wave 3 here. Looks like our wave 3 is done with, and we're pulling back in our fourth wave right now. So you can see I already have on the chart our targets between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. Yeah, and we do have that fresh daily level that's coming in around 13.22, right where that, in that target zone. And we are bouncing right now, right around the 382 Fibonacci retracement. I would like to come a little bit lower to hit that daily. It would be nice to see that. And let's look for some naked daily points of controls. Yeah, and we did hit the naked daily point of control that was right at the 382 today. So before today, this was a naked daily point of control. You can see we came down just today, hit the naked daily point of control, hit the 382, and we're starting to see a little bit of a push up from that general area. We really want to see either this level hold or come down to that daily. But actually now with that naked daily point of control right at the 382, this might be kind of the low in here. And then we could push up from this bounce here. We would want to make new highs coming into that 786, where your point of control is, where your liquidity is, just above. And eventually, because we have 2 1-2s, 1 2 1 2 3, we would be looking for a 4 5 and then another 4 and another 5, potentially coming up to sweep the liquidity of the range highs. And once again, reject from the pitchfork for a third time. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, and if we reject here, I would expect to come back down to the bottom of the range. We can turn on that range between all the price action, between the value area low and that point of control. We can look at this range here and we can trade this range. So we turn on that volume profile. Yeah, and we're back underneath the value area high, very similar to Bitcoin. So we do have to watch for rejection and then continuation down here. If we reject it, we could see a much larger drop. Overall, seeing this as a larger 3-wave corrective move, and then we would expect to drop down to take out the liquidity that's down at the value area low of the range. Okay, I just wanted to mark out that naked weekly because I'm also going to pull our golden pocket from the lows to the highs. Let's turn on our golden pocket. Wow. All right. Not good confluence, but your 786 is going to be right there. Right where your POC and your naked weekly point of control is. So I would say the next big support level, if we lose the 0.5 Fibonacci, is probably going to be close to your POC right in here. And then above us, it would be interesting to take out your highs from Tuesday to actually touch that 786 Fibonacci at 14.3 because you can see your actual point of control when you're zoomed out on higher time frames, it is at 14.3. And then eventually coming up to 15. Yeah, and at 14.4 to 14.6, we do have a naked daily point of I thought we had a naked daily up there. Okay, a daily at 14.4. I don't know this would be such a big level. I would say your next big resistance area is between that daily and that 786. 14.3 to 14.4. So if we are going to bounce within this general area, that would be the next TP area for me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reject from this area to back test the value area high. If it holds, then you would expect potentially to come up to grab the liquidity. But that's about it, guys. That's about it for today. Let's check Bitcoin. Did Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame? So we're in process of bearishly backtesting the value area high right now. We've fallen back inside the range. If we backtest this and reject, I would expect new local lows. Probably coming down to 90.1, where that next naked daily point of control is. But that's it for today. Thank you guys. Hit the like button on your way out. I will be live tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please come join me. We can cover some of the altcoins. We can cover Bitcoin live. Try to get into some live trades. Have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.